Most people think they're lazy, but the truth is far more dangerous. Your brain has been hijacked. Every scroll, every notification, every late night dopamine hit is slowly destroying your focus, your motivation, your discipline, and your ability to feel excited about real life. And if you don't stop it now, you could spend the next 5 years trapped in the same cycle, tired, distracted, unmotivated, and watching everyone else move ahead while your potential slowly disappears. But today, that changes. Because in this video, I'm going to walk you through a powerful 7-day dopamine fast designed to rewire your brain, restore your focus, increase your energy, and help you finally take back control of your mind. By the end of these 7 days, ordinary things will start feeling exciting again. Your attention span will sharpen. Your discipline will return. And for the first time in a long time, your brain will stop craving constant stimulation every second of the day. This is not motivation, this is neurological reset, and day one starts now. Your brain runs on dopamine. Dopamine is the chemical responsible for motivation, reward, desire, and anticipation. But modern life has overloaded your system with artificial dopamine spikes. Social media, junk food, endless videos, gaming, notifications, constant entertainment. Your brain was never designed to handle this level of stimulation. And when dopamine becomes too high for too long, something terrible happens. Normal life starts feeling boring. Reading feels hard. Working feels exhausting. Studying becomes painful. Even spending time with family can feel less rewarding than scrolling through your phone for 10 seconds. Not because you're weak, because your brain's reward system has been rewired by overstimulation. This is why you can watch videos for 3 hours straight, but struggle to focus for 10 minutes on your goals. Your brain is not broken. It's overstimulated. And the first step to fixing it is understanding one brutal truth. Pleasure addiction destroys ambition. The more cheap dopamine you consume, the less motivation you have for meaningful effort. Your brain begins choosing instant rewards over long-term success. That's why so many people feel mentally exhausted despite doing nothing productive all day. Now listen carefully. A dopamine fast does not mean eliminating happiness. It means removing artificial stimulation long enough for your brain to heal. You are teaching your mind to enjoy real life again instead of needing constant digital excitement every minute. So here's your mission for day one. Remove the biggest dopamine triggers from your environment for the next 24 hours. No short-form videos, no mindless scrolling, no random YouTube binge sessions, no constant checking of notifications. Turn your phone grayscale if possible. Delete the apps that steal most of your attention. Create friction between you and distraction, because every second of friction weakens the addiction. And at first, your brain will resist. You'll feel bored, restless, maybe even anxious. Good. That discomfort is proof your nervous system is beginning to detox from overstimulation. Most people fail here because they think boredom is bad. But boredom is where recovery begins. Boredom is the doorway to creativity, deep thinking, discipline, and focus. The moment your brain stops being constantly entertained, it starts rebuilding its ability to concentrate. This is why some of the greatest thinkers in history protected silence and solitude like treasure. Because clarity is impossible in a distracted mind. Tonight before sleeping, I want you to do one thing. Sit alone for 10 minutes without your phone, music, or entertainment. Just sit and observe how uncomfortable your brain becomes. That discomfort is your addiction revealing itself. And tomorrow, we go deeper. Day two begins with a realization that most people never understand. Your environment is shaping your behavior more than your willpower ever will. You think you lack discipline, but in reality, your brain is constantly being attacked by stimulation designed to keep you addicted. Every app on your phone is competing for your attention. Every notification is engineered to trigger dopamine. Every swipe trains your brain to crave speed, novelty, and instant gratification. And the longer this continues, the harder it becomes to focus on anything meaningful. That's why today is about reclaiming control of your environment before your environment controls you permanently. The average person touches their phone thousands of times every single day. Not because they need to, because their brain has been conditioned to seek stimulation automatically. Most people don't even realize they reach for their phone during moments of stress, boredom, loneliness, or discomfort. Their brain has learned one dangerous pattern: feel discomfort, escape instantly. But growth never happens inside comfort. The strongest minds are built by learning how to stay present even when things feel boring, difficult, or slow. So today, you are going to retrain your brain to stop escaping. The first challenge is silence. No background noise while eating, no videos while working, no music every second of the day, no constant stimulation flooding your nervous system. Because when your mind is constantly consuming, it never gets time to recover. And recovery is where mental clarity is born. At first, silence will feel strange. Your thoughts may become louder. You may suddenly notice anxiety, overthinking, or emotional discomfort you've been suppressing with entertainment. That is normal. Most people are not addicted to dopamine. They are addicted to distraction. Distraction protects them from facing themselves. But the moment you stop running from silence, your brain starts healing. Today, I also want you to notice something critical. Pay attention to how fast your attention jumps between tasks. Can you sit and read without checking your phone? Can you focus on one task for 30 uninterrupted minutes? Can you have a conversation without craving stimulation? If the answer is no, your attention system has been fragmented by overstimulation. But here's the good news. Attention can be rebuilt. Your brain is adaptable. Neuroscientists call this neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to rewire itself based on repeated behavior. Every time you resist distraction, you strengthen neural pathways linked to focus, patience, and self-control. And every time you instantly give in to stimulation, you strengthen impulsive behavior. You are literally training your brain every second of the day. That means your future is being shaped by what you repeatedly consume. Now here's your day 2 challenge. Choose one difficult activity you've been avoiding: studying, working out, reading, building a skill, cleaning your room, and do it for 1 full hour with 0 distractions. No phone nearby, no switching tabs, no multitasking, just deep focus. Because deep focus is becoming a superpower in a world addicted to distraction. And while everyone else destroys their attention span, you are rebuilding yours. Tonight, you may notice something unusual. Your thoughts feel calmer. Your mind feels less noisy, and simple things start feeling slightly more rewarding again. That is not imagination. That is your dopamine system beginning to rebalance itself. But tomorrow is where most people break, because day 3 forces you to confront the most dangerous addiction of all: instant gratification. Day 3 is where the battle becomes real, because today, you are going to confront the one habit silently destroying your future more than almost anything else: instant gratification. The need to feel good immediately, the need to escape discomfort instantly, the need to avoid effort, patience, struggle, and delayed reward. This is the addiction modern society has normalized. People don't wait anymore. They can't. Food arrives in minutes. Entertainment arrives instantly. Attention arrives with a notification. Pleasure arrives with a tap. And slowly, the brain loses its ability to tolerate effort before reward. But every meaningful achievement in life requires the opposite: patience, discipline, delayed gratification. And if your brain cannot handle delayed rewards, you will constantly abandon long-term goals for short-term pleasure. That is why so many people stay stuck. They want success, but their nervous system has been trained to chase comfort instead of growth. Today, we begin reversing that conditioning. Here's something most people never realize. Your brain treats anticipation as powerful dopamine, not just reward itself. This means when you constantly consume quick pleasure, your brain stops valuing effort altogether. Why work hard for something meaningful when your phone can give you tiny dopamine hits every 30 seconds? Over time, your ambition weakens, your focus collapses, your discipline fades, and eventually, even basic tasks start feeling mentally exhausting. This is not laziness. This is neurological conditioning. But today, you fight back. Your day 3 mission is simple but powerful. Delay every unnecessary pleasure. Before checking your phone, wait 10 minutes. Before eating junk food, pause and ask if your body truly needs it. Before opening social media, take a walk instead. Before reacting impulsively, breathe. You are teaching your brain one critical lesson. You are in control, not your impulses. And this matters more than you think, because every time you resist immediate gratification, the prefrontal cortex of your brain grows stronger. This is the part responsible for decision-making, self-control, planning, and discipline. Meanwhile, impulsive behavior strengthens the emotional reward circuits that crave easy pleasure. So every small decision today is shaping your future brain. Most people never train this. They obey every craving instantly, and eventually they become controlled by urges instead of purpose. But not you. Not anymore. Today, I also want you to experience intentional discomfort. Take a cold shower. Go for a walk without your phone. Exercise even if you don't feel motivated. Sit with boredom instead of escaping it, because discomfort is not your enemy. Avoiding discomfort is. Everything you want in life lives on the other side of temporary discomfort. Confidence, health, discipline, success, mental strength, focus, all of it requires the ability to stay uncomfortable long enough to grow. And here's the fascinating part. As your dopamine system resets, your brain starts becoming sensitive again to smaller rewards. A conversation feels more engaging, music sounds richer, nature feels calming, your thoughts become clearer, your motivation begins returning naturally instead of depending on artificial stimulation. This is the beginning of neurological recovery. But tomorrow, you'll discover something even deeper. Your biggest problem may not be dopamine itself. It may be the identity you've created around being lazy. And day 4 is where that identity gets destroyed forever. Day 4 changes everything, because today you stop identifying as a lazy person. And this may be the most important shift in the entire dopamine reset. Most people destroy themselves with the story they repeat every single day. I'm lazy. I have no discipline. I can never stay consistent. I always fail. And after repeating these thoughts long enough, the brain starts accepting them as identity instead of temporary behavior. That is dangerous, because human beings always act in alignment with who they believe they are. If you believe you are weak, your actions will reflect weakness. If you believe you are distracted, your habits will reinforce distraction. If you believe you are incapable of change, your brain stops looking for growth altogether. But listen carefully, you were not born lazy. No child enters the world addicted to scrolling, stimulation, and distraction. These behaviors were learned through repetition, environment, and conditioning, which means they can also be unlearned. Your brain is adaptable, your habits are trainable, your focus is recoverable, and your identity can change faster than you think. Today is about rebuilding the version of yourself that dopamine addiction tried to destroy. The focused version, the disciplined version, the version capable of deep work, clear thinking, and meaningful progress. And it starts with one powerful concept: evidence. Your brain builds identity based on repeated evidence. Every action is casting a vote for the type of person you become. When you wake up early, you cast a vote for discipline. When you exercise, you cast a vote for strength. When you resist distraction, you cast a vote for focus. When you keep promises to yourself, you build self-respect. This is how identity changes, not through motivation, through repeated proof. So today, stop obsessing over huge transformations. Focus on small wins completed consistently, because consistency rewires the brain faster than intensity. Now I want you to understand something most people overlook during a dopamine reset. Your energy is returning, maybe slowly, maybe subtly, but your nervous system is no longer drowning in nonstop stimulation. And when the brain becomes less overloaded, mental clarity starts rising naturally. This is why many people suddenly feel motivated to clean their room, organize their life, start exercising, or reconnect with goals they abandoned months ago during a dopamine fast. Their natural drive begins waking up again, because motivation is not dead. It was buried underneath overstimulation. Today's challenge is extremely important. Complete one promise to yourself that you normally avoid. Something small but meaningful. Finish a workout. Read 10 pages. Wake up on time. Journal your thoughts. Study for one focused hour. And when you finish it, pause for a moment. Because that feeling is real confidence. Not confidence from compliments. Not confidence from social media attention. Confidence from self-trust. The knowledge that you can rely on yourself. That is the foundation of mental strength. And the more self-trust you build, the less your brain craves external dopamine for validation. Now, there's something else happening during this process that nobody talks about. Your emotions may become more intense. You may feel frustration, sadness, boredom, or even anger more deeply than before. That's because stimulation was numbing your emotional awareness. When constant distraction disappears, unresolved emotions rise to the surface. Do not run from them. Face them. Because healing requires awareness. And tomorrow, on day 5, you are going to unlock the most powerful state your brain can experience: flow. The state where focus becomes effortless, time disappears, and your mind operates at its highest level. Day 5 is where your brain begins transforming from distracted to dangerous. Because today, you unlock a mental state that most people almost never experience anymore: flow state. The state where your focus becomes razor sharp, your mind becomes fully engaged, time feels like it disappears, and your productivity rises to levels that once felt impossible. Athletes experience it. Artists experience it. Writers, entrepreneurs, musicians, scientists, and top performers all chase it, because flow is the state where human beings perform at their absolute best. But here's the problem. Flow cannot exist in a distracted brain. Every notification destroys it. Every scroll weakens it. Every dopamine spike fragments your attention and trains your mind to crave interruption instead of depth. This is why most people never experience deep focus anymore. Their brain has become addicted to switching. Switching apps, switching thoughts, switching tasks, switching attention every few seconds. And over time, this constant mental fragmentation destroys cognitive endurance. But after 5 days of dopamine reset, something incredible starts happening. Your brain begins slowing down, your thoughts become less chaotic, and your ability to focus deeply starts returning naturally. Today, you are going to train that ability. Your challenge is called the 90-minute focus block. Choose one meaningful task, something that improves your future: studying, writing, building a business, learning a skill, working out, reading. And for 90 uninterrupted minutes, give it your full attention. No phone, no music with lyrics, no multitasking, no checking messages, no distractions, just complete immersion. At first, your brain may resist. That's normal, because your nervous system has been conditioned to expect constant dopamine stimulation. But if you push through the first 20 minutes, something powerful begins happening. Your attention stabilizes, your thinking sharpens, your mind enters rhythm, and suddenly the task becomes easier. This is flow beginning to activate. And once you experience this state, you start realizing something terrifying. Most people live their entire lives without ever using the full power of their mind, because distractions stole it from them. Now listen carefully to this. Focus is not just productivity. Focus is power. The ability to direct your attention determines the direction of your life. Whatever controls your attention controls your future. And right now, millions of people are surrendering their future to algorithms designed to keep them addicted. But you are escaping that system. One day at a time, one decision at a time, one disciplined action at a time. By now, you may also notice another change. You feel calmer, less reactive, less mentally exhausted. That's because your dopamine baseline is beginning to normalize. Your brain no longer needs extreme stimulation just to feel okay. Simple things feel meaningful again. Conversations feel richer. Nature feels peaceful. Work feels rewarding. Life starts becoming real again. And this is only the beginning, because the longer you protect your attention, the stronger your mind becomes. So here's what I want you to remember after these 5 days. You were never lazy. You were overstimulated. You were distracted, conditioned, mentally overloaded. But beneath all of that noise, your real mind was still waiting. Waiting for silence. Waiting for focus, waiting for you to take control again. And now you have proof that change is possible. Not through motivation, not through hacks, but through rebuilding your relationship with attention, discomfort, discipline, and dopamine. The world is becoming more distracted every year, which means focus is becoming more valuable every year. Protect it like your future depends on it, because it does. And if you stay consistent with this process, 1 year from now, you may become completely unrecognizable from the person watching this video today.